Okay, you got me. The original line is, I am the silencing machine, but sacrificing goes so much better with this deck. And if Trent Reznor has a problem with me altering his lyrics, well, Trent Reznor can take it up with, oh my, what big guns you have. The Golgari Aristocrats deck is already a well-established Pauper staple that uses the synergy of creatures who benefit from the sacrificing of other creatures with creatures who, die well. Because they usually come back from the dead in some way. Zombie-like. Only, I guess not all the creatures are zombies. Anyway, there are many deck lists out there with very similar cards in them, and far be it from me to attempt to claim I know any better. But the times they are changing, and recently downshifted cards have emerged which would make for a very nice fit in this archetype. I'm Travis from Brainpulp TV, and this is Golgari Aristocrats, T.0. Because my name starts with a T. Anyhow. Before we begin, this is the deck that I will be playing in our TopDeckHero $25 Pauper Challenge. In case you haven't heard of this challenge or haven't entered yet, click the link that will appear to take you to the video that explains the contest and how to enter. This will also explain why I didn't splash red for Lightning Bolt and make this Jund Aristocrats. So this deck was built for under $25, really just over $20, not including tax and shipping. So if you like it, it's really easy to build and keeping with the Travis tradition, not overly complicated to run. So let's start with the creatures. As you can well suspect, I've added 4 of the Mortician's Beetle, the newest badass bug that was recently commoned in the Modern Masters 2017 release. Now, since I'm using a full playset, I was going to do this whole Fab 4 Beatles joke thing, but I honestly don't know how many people would really get it, or care for that matter, so I think I'll just skip that and jump into, what do you mean you're not doing the skit? I spent all week practicing this silly shaped guitar. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, fellas. What? He says he's not doing the bit anymore. Oh, bloody waste of time this was. Wanker. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We bought costumes, you know. Oh, I feel kind of guilty now. Anyway, the Beetle is a 1/1 for 1 who gains a +1/+1 counter whenever a player sacrifices a creature. Now, he does lack a sacrificing ability himself, but we will have plenty of cards which will help us with that, so we needn't worry. In addition to Beetlemania, we'll run 4 of the Carrion Feeder and 2 of the Bloodthrone Vampire. Even without spells, we have some good sack engines right there, each one of them capable of being a threat as the game goes on. But, as the saying goes, what good is a good-looking plate with no food on it? Or something about going hungry with good-looking plates? I don't know. Anyhow, we need some good food for our fancy plates. And here's where the Synergist deck really shines. We're going to use lots of creatures that have recursion so we can maximize our sacrificing value. We'll have 4 copies of Blisterpod, 4 of the Young Wolf, 3 of the Butcher Ghoul, and 4 Nest Invader. All these creatures will provide us with another creature in some way, usually through death, which will have us locked and loaded to sack at will. Sack at will. There are 25 creatures in total, so now we'll move on to spells, and this is where the difference between this deck and the traditional Aristocrats one really start to add up. 4 copies of Innocent Blood in the main board, cause yes please. 1 mana sack outlet and a removal spell, plus hopefully 2 counters on the Beetle. Best use of a swamp since they made Disneyland. There will also be 4 Diabolic Edict, more removal that will build a better Beetle. Now it loses the targeting nature of Tragic Slip and lacks the flashback of Chainer Edict, but honestly the 7 mana flashback might as well be 100 in this deck. And the flexibility of instant over sorcery speed was just too much to pass over. We main board 3 Duress and move the Hunger of the Howl Pack to the sideboard. Our creatures will hopefully be doing a fine job building themselves up on their own, and this will allow us to watch out for removal spell as well as nasty enchantments, plus a 1 of Rite of Consumption. It's just a fun card that can be used as a sack outlet if needed, and just to win the game by being a strictly better fling. We'll also be playing 4 of, you guessed it, Rancor. We're going to want that trample at some point. Given our budget constraints, this one was hard to fit in, but the deck up this point has been laughably cheap, so I was able to splurge. With only 4 enchantments, we move on to lands, and start things off with 2 Kalini Garden. Aw, gives your pretty little plant token. Get ready to die, plant. Your life will be short and terrible. You will be used as a chump blocker or sacrificed to the Holy Beetle, maybe both. Also, 2 of the Jungle Hollow, 6 Forest, and 7 Swamps. 19 lands, which would hopefully be plenty as our curve is so low, our highest CMC is only 2. Sideboard will be a little more than a suggestion this time around as it is included in our budget. 2 Aerial Volley, Death to Flyers and all that, 3 Natural State, and 3 of the aforementioned Hunger of the Howl Pack, which was a tough move into the sideboard as there will be so much creature death that is almost always 3 counters at instant speed. And 3 of the Tragically Slip, because, well, if you steal a motive for Gord Downey, he will give you 2 buckets of chicken and ride to the liquor store, which is a fair deal in this economy. I assume you have no idea where that's referenced from, but do yourself a favor and go watch Tragically Hip's video for the darkest one sometime after this, and you'll get it. I apologize in advance for all the beeps. We Canadians can be potty mouthed sometimes. Then 2 each of the Macabre Waltz. Get some of our valid creatures back out of the graveyard. And 2 Read the Bones. If we're just not finding the answers we need, we can always turn to voodoo. So there is my Golgari Aristocrats T.0. 25 creatures, 12 spells, 4 enchantments, and 19 lands of sacrificial synergy. If you have a similar build, feel free to leave some card suggestions in the comments. Or if you think the Beetle is the best thing to happen to Pauper since the ban of Cloud Fairies, then go ahead and give the video a like. If you'd like to win a chance to build this deck or a similar one to it, make sure to check out our contest video for your chance to win the $25 store credit to TopDeckHero.com, or just go over to TopDeckHero.com and check out some of their cards. Just remember the prices are in Canadian dollars, so if you're shopping from the States, your dollar will go a lot farther. You lucky bastards. Also, watch out for the future Mana Caves to see this deck take on Ed's build. Thanks for watching all of our Brain Pulp stuff, and we'll see you again.